And here's the thing. This might actually be the best part of this movie.
In terms of like world building and scene setting, I think they do a really good job.
It makes me feel so small, which is what an alien movie is supposed to make me feel.
Exactly.
Right?
Then I sip, drink. These pearly whites ain't look the same. I did everything the wrong way, and now I'm fighting off this play. This mirror ain't showing the same.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. We are your Back-Asswards boys. I'm Kyle.
I'm Arden. And tonight, we are going to be talking about a movie that is, believe it or not, folks, 45 years old, just over. We are talking about 1979's Alien. And tonight we are going to be putting it up against the internet's most scientifically accurate horror movie rating scale.
Hold on to your asses, because things are about to get backwards. Alien premiered in the United States on May 25th, 1979 to absolutely change the sci-fi game. Director Ridley Scott, along with cinematographer Derek Van Lint, came to the table with visually stunning imagery paired with an absolute powerhouse performance from relative newcomer Sigourney Weaver. Writer Dan O'Bannon shows a love and deep appreciation for the sci-fi genre, and musical director Jerry Goldsmith brings us right into the universe with a score that feels both futuristic and grounded. Off of a not insubstantial budget of $14 million, the cast and crew was able to set a new bar for sci-fi, horror, and movies that are exactly 116 minutes long. They brought in a whopping $188 million, or over $800 million in 2025 in box office returns, and earned themselves a decent showing at award season for their efforts, scoring Best Visual Effects at the Oscars and Best Film Music at the BAFTA Awards. They also earned 2 Oscar nominations, 4 BAFTA nominations, 1 Golden Globe, and 1 Grammy.
And now, first and foremost, let's talk about the directing in this movie. I like the directing in this movie. I thought the directing was good. I thought there was a really good use of the imagery and the light in this movie. I think that darkness is used really well. Not knowing where that alien is, I think, might be the most stressful part of that whole movie, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's just not knowing where it is. I honestly think that the direction is one of the strongest parts of this movie. I think that there's a lot of depth here, is what I will say. And I don't think that this video is quite enough to get into all of that depth.
Yeah, you'll have to sign up for the Patreon to get the full depth here.
Right, exactly. But it was really, really good. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9.
A 9. I think a 9 is really, really good. I'm going to give it a 9.1. I'm just a little bit ahead of you there.
Nice.
I think Ridley Scott did a phenomenal job. Which brings us to the writing, which honestly, a little bit of a lower point, in our opinion, on the show here. Honestly, main critique, get to the point. It takes a hot minute for the movie to really get its gears turning. And there's obviously something to be said for the building tension and setting the scene, but I think it maybe goes just a little bit too far in the beginning of the film. Beyond that, though, I think the writing has a couple of strong moments, but overall, could definitely use some work. I'm going to give the writing a 7.7.
Ooh. Honestly, that's coming in really, really high for me because I feel like the writing is the reason I don't care about the characters, like I said to you before we started recording, unfortunately. So I'm going to give the writing a 6.
A 6.
I
a flat
was
6.
not a huge fan.
Fair enough.
And now moving on to the cinematography. And here's the thing. This might actually be the best part of this movie. The shot
Yes.
composition in this movie. For example, when they walk into like that big, like, I don't know what it is, like throne room or
Yeah,
whatever.
the like throne room, like chapel, temple room, whatever it is, with the big
Something like
skeleton attached to a laser telescope thing.
Oh my God. It makes me feel so small, which is what an alien movie is supposed to make me feel
Exactly.
like, right? Also, what I want to say is that I feel like the kills in this movie, the kills specifically in this movie, are really satisfying because of the cinematography. Even the chest bursting scene, which we'll talk about in a second. Hold on. Also, I do feel like this is the point where we would acknowledge that, and this is in the cinematography, it's also in a lot of the filmmaking.
Well, this movie is very, very, very heavily influenced. I feel like maybe not very, very, very. Sorry, just very, very. This movie has
some influences from Star Wars and 2001: A Space Odyssey. There is that Jupiter and Beyond the Infinite little flash of light that we get towards the end of this movie that happens. And there is also a lot of shots at the beginning of the movie that mirror a lot of the beginning of A New Hope in Star Wars, right? But all that being said, the cinematography being one of the stronger points of this movie, 9.6, baby. It was good.
I think 9.6 is right where we need to be, honestly.
I'm
concur? Right there with you. Yeah, I concur. 9.6, right on the money. I think the only other thing I would add is, I also love the AI room that Mother is in with all of the lights. I think that was also very heavily influenced by 2001: A Space Odyssey. The room where Hal, all of his brain chips are stored, where he has to go in and take them apart. Very, very similar there. And great use of it without just being a full-on knockoff of Star Wars or Space Odyssey, right?
Yes, exactly.
Which brings us to our music rating. And the music, we're not the only ones who thought really, really good. One of the few things that it actually won its nominations for. It won the BAFTA for Best Film Music, and I think it deserved it. It used music incredibly well, and it also did a great job of setting a lot of things for the rest of the series. We see a lot of themes that get recycled because they were so good, right? And music is one of the most underrated make or break things for a film, especially for a sci-fi horror. And I think it does a phenomenal job. 9.8 out of 10 on the music.
I don't think that I could agree more. It set the bar for sci-fi and horror in general from that point on. I am going to come in just a little bit lower, though. I'm going to give it a 9.6.
9.6. I think that's great.
Great music. Excellent music. You could definitely add this to your soundtrack playlist.
I will be. Absolutely.
And now to talk about something that is essential to any movie, and especially any horror movie, the acting. And here's the thing about the acting in this movie, folks. And I just have to be real with you. Come closer. I just have to be real with you for a second. I didn't like a lot of the acting in this movie, dude. And the thing is that it's not even that like the acting is dated, right? Because it's not. But I also feel like that the acting is a smaller part of the reason, but still a part of the reason why I don't really care about these characters. The acting didn't really bring me into the world as much as some of the other aspects of this movie did. Really, the only person who did that was Sigourney Weaver. All in all, the acting was really not that good other than Sigourney Weaver. I'm honestly probably going to give this the lowest acting score that we've ever given a movie. I'm going with a 5.9.
Yeah, honestly, I was going to come in with like a 5.8, honestly.
As a group effort, I did not like the acting very much in this movie.
Yeah, it was definitely a weak point. I was rooting for the main cast because they're the humans and I want the humans to
Correct.
win. I didn't really have any other reason to root for them. And because of that, I never really felt any of the kills, right? Like, none of them struck me super hard because I never really connected to anybody except Sigourney. And she makes it.
Mhm. Apparently, she makes it for 4 movies, but we'll get to
Spoilers.
that. Whatever.
But that brings us to the effects. And honestly, these effects, practical. Practical effects. Oh, yes, we love them. We love them so much. They are always and will always be better than special CGI effects. Always.
Correct.
Period. Even if they look cheesy, which some of these do. Some of these didn't really age super well, but they are still absolutely iconic. And despite showing their age a little bit, a lot of them are really, really strong practical effects. Specifically here, I also want to give a very big shout out to the creature design in this movie. This is some of the best creature design in science fiction history. The xenomorph is top 5 horror creature designs ever. It's so good. And it's such a horrifying concept in the way that it develops. And it gave us such a good jumping board for future movies, right? And how can we use this creature in different ways? It's not only scary in this situation, it can be scary in so many other ways. And because of that, amazing. Now, some of them kind of weak. The chest burster, again, despite being absolutely iconic,
Right.
shows its age pretty well. Very specifically, when the chest burster jumps out of the chest and starts to run away, it gives Muppet energy, and I don't love that. But overall, effects get a 9.0. I think they knocked it out of the park with these effects.
It's like you read my mind with the words that you said and the score that you gave. I have the exact same feelings and I'm giving it a 9.
I love it.
And that leads us to one of the most essential components of a horror movie, and that is the vibe. And folks, I gotta be honest with you again, and you can come a little closer again if you need to, because I'm not gonna lie to you. The vibes are kind of off in this movie, just a little bit. Just a little bit. And this is where I feel like I get to say this, okay, with my whole chest on the internet for everybody to see. I don't think this movie really lives up to the hype that it gets. I really don't quite understand. And that's not to say that contributes to the vibe score, but I feel like the vibe is what really sells this movie and what is the crux of Alien. And it didn't hit for me, and it doesn't live up to the hype.
I agree that the movie doesn't fully live up to the hype. Like, we are on the same page there. I think we are kind of a house divided on the vibe a little bit. I do love the vibe of this movie. I think that the poor acting performance definitely takes away from the vibe. I will fully agree with you on that. But in terms of like world building and scene setting, I think they do a really good job.
I don't know. It might be a combination of that acting that you were talking about and the writing that we were talking about earlier that's contributing to the vibe. But I didn't vibe with this movie as much as I wanted to. I'm giving the vibe a 7. And the thing is that 7 is not a bad score. Again, if you look at our rating scale, that's not a bad score. Because I acknowledge what is good about this movie and all that stuff, but the vibe gets a 7.
And I can accept a 7. I'm going to be a little bit more generous. I'm going to give it an 8. I think there's room for improvement, but I think they did a great job, and I can absolutely see how we've got, at least 8 movies that have the xenomorph in it, and
something like
several TV shows now too. So I get it. I can see how this was the start of something new, you know?
Absolutely.
And that brings us to the scares slash kills, because we do get some scares in this movie as well as kills. When we were watching the movie, I literally said, did James Wan direct this movie? Because there's some really good jump scares in this movie, and they do a really good job of balancing subverting your expectations and exceeding your expectations, right? Like there's a very good balance of building tension and relieving it with something that you wouldn't necessarily think was going to happen, even if it's not comedic relief, and also building tension and releasing that tension with something super duper scary, right? Specifically, great use of slime in this movie, between the xenomorph's blood, the goo inside of Ash, the robot guy. Great use of slime in this movie. I loved it. I think there were a couple of kills that are kind of meh. We do get a pan away off-screen kill, which is always a detractor, right? But I think the scares kind of make up for that. And I guess, Arden, you were saying that there's some behind-the-scenes buffoonery that might have led to that kill happening off-screen. Maybe not buffoonery, but some off-screen reasons for that kill happening the way it did. So overall, scares and kills, really good. I think it gets an 8.2.
See, I think it gets a little bit better. I think it gets an 8.5. I agree with everything that you just said. I think that it all lands super well. I think the kills are the stronger part, minus the one, and I am deducting it a little bit for that. But overall, great, 8.5. And that moves us on to our special category, which we pick for every film and every film franchise.
Right.
Which this is a film franchise.
Quite the franchise, yeah.
And so, henceforth, whenever we do an alien movie in the future, we will be rating the chest burster scene, of which I am to understand there are plenty.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's at least one in every alien movie. So,
and this chest burster scene, basically, how I feel about it is that it's really good and it's iconic. It was the first of its kind, right? But looking back on it, it's 45 years old, you know? It's just a little dated, right? But it gives an exceptional baseline for the rest of the chest burster scenes. I can't wait to see what kind of things they do upcoming. I thought it was great. I'm giving it an 8, a solid 8.
I agree. A little bit dated, right? And again, like I said, when it gets out of the chest, runs away, it's a Muppet, and I don't like that. But in universe, in the movie, when it happens, perfect.
Oh my
timing,
god,
right?
It's so good.
The performance of, I'm dropping his name right now, we're gonna flash it on the screen here. The actor that gets chest bursted does a great job, right? I think I got to go just a little bit higher because of how iconic it is. I think I'm going to go for an 8.6. Just a little
8.6. I like it. I can't argue with it.
And that brings us to our special categories here, best performance and best effect. And honestly, do we even really need to talk about who gets best performance for this movie? The chest burster alien. No, it's Sigourney Weaver, the woman that she is. Oh my goodness, she shines so much brighter than the rest of the cast. I will say, Ian Holm also has a great performance. I specifically loved every single time the two of them were on screen together. Amazing. But it still has to go to Sigourney Weaver. Absolutely.
Correct.
Especially for not, having too much to work off of character-wise in the
really.
script.
Not
She
really.
does a great job. Yeah.
And honestly, something that's cool about Sigourney Weaver being in this movie, just really quick, just while we're here. Originally, the part was written for a man, and they decided to give it to Sigourney Weaver, and they didn't change any of the language. They didn't change any of the lines. They didn't gender bend it.
Really?
They just
I
ran with it, and it turned out
love
great.
that. Yeah.
It was really good. And that, folks, leads us to perhaps what is the most coveted award on the Backwards Boys channel, and that is the Best Effect Award. And I know what my best effect is, but I'm kind of curious to hear Kyle's best effect. As we all know, Kyle loves talking about effects, so I want to know what Kyle's best effect was in a movie as iconic as this.
Honestly, it was really simply done, but I loved Ian Holm talking as the robot after the head had exploded. Again, obviously super simple. You just put him in a box next to the body. Like, it's not
Right.
hard to do, but
Right.
they sold it exceptionally well.
They did a great job.
Exceptionally well.
Mhm.
And I'm going to give that effect an 8.3.
An 8.3.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Very nice. And I almost want to say the entire sequence, but I am just going to say one effect. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it is the practical effect of, I believe that this is what it's called, the face hugger alien.
Bro, I forgot about the face hugger. Oh
The
my
face
god.
hugger?
It's the face hugger scene. Oh my god, you're so right. Thank you for correcting me.
And
Yeah,
honestly-
it's the face hugger scene. It is that whole sequence with him on the bed where they're doing the medical examination. Is that the specific one you're talking about?
That is the scene that I'm talking
Yeah.
about, but specifically, I do just mean the practical effect of the
Yes.
the face hugger is,
Oh.
in my opinion, the best effect in this
Mhm.
movie.
Combined with the sound effects
Mm-hmm.
that they used for, like, when it's cutting the flesh and when it's like moving a little bit, the little like going on. Oh, dude.
I can't.
Oh, it's so good.
I can't. Oh
Yes.
my God.
Thank you for reminding me that I'm a freaking idiot, and you are absolutely correct. It is the facehuggers, and I'm gonna change my rating to an 8.7 on that one because
Honestly, I feel like there are going to be very few practical effects that I see in movies that are going to top that one. I'm giving it a 9.8.
9.8. Oh,
It was
my
so
goodness.
good. It was so good.
It was really,
It's
really
beautiful.
fucking good.
It really is a fucking masterpiece.
And again,
I have to say,
it almost maybe is another callback to 2001, and this is a conversation for the podcast, but you get a little preview here.
Sure.
That the breathing in that scene is very similar to the breathing when he's alone in his suit in 2001.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that is all you hear
Yes.
for like 3 minutes straight.
Mm-hmm.
It's the exact same vibe. It the way that just like keeps the beat of the scene going.
Correct.
Ooh, it's so good. We're going to do a little bit of math real quick here, and we will be right back.
5 hours later.
And we're back. And we have tallied up the scores, and we have come back to you with our final rating. I ended at an 8.0.
Right on the dot. I came in a little bit higher because I guess I just love sci-fi. I don't know what to tell you. So I came in a little bit higher at an 8.4, which gives us a Back Ass Words channel rating of 8.2. Which actually means we're being a little bit more harsh than the usual rating, which is not normal for us. We're coming in a little bit under IMDb at an 85% and Rotten Tomatoes at a 93%.
Wow.
So I guess we stood on business that it is a little bit overrated.
People love this movie, dude.
People love this movie, and admittedly, hey, maybe we'll need to revisit it once we get to like Alien 4, you know? I don't know. Maybe this sets up some crazy shit here, but only seeing the first one right now,
I
Listen.
kind of don't get it.
8.2 is not a bad rating on our system by any means, you know? That still means we recommend
No.
the movie.
It's
But
a
like
great score.
I guess I guess there were just less good movies back then, you know? So, that's our official back-assward stance.
And if you've been following the channel, then you know that that puts Alien in between The Exorcist at a 9.45 and Conjuring The Last Rites at a 6.1. If you haven't seen that video, go check that one out. Which I feel like is fair. I like that.
Yeah. If we're talking quality, yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, thank you so much for listening to this week's review, everybody. If you liked it, like and subscribe. And if you didn't, comment and let us know what you thought. I'm Kyle.
I'm Arden, and we'll see you next week. Stay safe. Stay weird. The danger is real.
Okay. I brush my teeth and I sip drink.